my name's Andy and welcome to this edition of Talking Around the Library Tree. I'm joined today by Rebecca Howarth, who is the Head of Learning Development at Lancaster. So welcome, Rebecca, it's lovely to have you on the show. Thank you for being here. So we'll start off with a few questions. This is kind of getting to know you episode really. So can you tell us a bit about what your role is and how you and your team can help students?
Yep, so I'm Head of Learning Development at Lancaster University, and we have a team of learning developers here. We have learning developers that work out in faculties, so each faculty has a dedicated learning developer. And then we also have learning developers that help students with English for academic purposes, maths and stats, a whole range of academic skills, writing, assessment literacy, presentation skills, all sorts of different things.
Yes, it's very, very varied skills that you can help students with.
Yeah.
And I know it's well valued by academic staff and the students that use your service. So, I mean, obviously it's a fantastic resource that the university's got through learning development. So that's really good. I was going to ask a follow-up question, but I'm not sure. So, I mean, how do you see learning development developing as such?
So I think what I should have said really is that even though we have a team of 11 learning developers who are staff members, we actually have a team of around 100 students.
Wow.
That work with us. And without those students, we couldn't run the activities that we run. For example, we've got writing centres, we've got a scientific writing centre for FHM and FST students. We've got academic writing space in FAS, we've got the academic writing zone in LUMS. We've got maths and stats bookable appointments, and all those activities are run by our student mentors or our student tutors. And we've also got a team of English language assistants as well. So even though I say the team is 11, it's actually a lot bigger than that. And I think that the roles for the students are really rewarding, but I also think that students, come into the Scientific Writing Centre, for example, get a lot out of hearing peer-to-peer, experiences and how those students have got to where they've got, and what strategies and they've used to support them in their study.
Excellent. So, I mean, how do students access this stuff? Is it on Moodle? And obviously, it's on the portal and things like that. Is that how they book?
Yeah. So each learning developer in each faculty has a Moodle page. Most often students are already enrolled on that when they start at Lancaster, and that has all the information on how to book various different things. We also have our Developing Your Academic Skills part of the portal pages where students can find more information about learning development and the contact email addresses, that kind of thing. And we also have appointments that students can book on LibCal.
Yeah.
So if students are kind of looking what's available, they can look at the LibCal calendar and see what's going on and book through that as well.
Excellent. And for those of you watching that, I'll add the links to LibCal and the other places in the comments down below on this podcast, so you can check that out when you wish to. So moving on, how long have you been at Lancaster now?
Nearly 8.5 years.
Wow. I remember Rebecca when she first started. We used to work together in LUMS when she was a learning developer in LUMS, and I was the academic librarian for LUMS, so we've known each other a long time. So I feel I can ask this question. So apart from meeting me, what has been your best moment in your role at Lancaster so far?
So I won a student award a couple of years ago.
Yeah. So what was that for?
So that was for outstanding support
Cool.
for LUM students.
Yeah.
So I think that was the year when I had a really great group of dissertation students that I was supporting in terms of their writing and the progress through the dissertation. So that was a really nice moment to be recognised for that support for students. And then I think after that, really, I think we as a team, we won the Collaborative Award for Teaching Excellence, so I think that was a really amazing moment. We were the first team to win it at Lancaster, so that was great. What else has been a highlight? I gained my senior fellowship last year.
So senior fellowship in what?
So it's advanced HE, and it's basically a reflection. You have to write a 5,000 word reflective essay that kind of provides a review of your practice in terms of how you've shown leadership, how you've supported teaching and learning of students, and how you've had an influence and impact across the university. So yeah, I've had, but also I love this job. I love being at Lancaster. I love now being in the leadership position that I'm in, because it means that I'm getting to know all sorts of different people across the university. Doing some really, really interesting work, more strategic work. So yeah, I love it.
Okay, cool. That's good. I mean, it's always good to enjoy your work.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on from that and kind of following up. Now, obviously, you're a very experienced learning developer. So if you could travel back in time, what piece of advice would you give yourself as a student that you now know, having been a student, helped students and everything else?
I would say it's okay to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Learn from failure, because I remember when I was at university, my first year I didn't do very well. And I was very, very harsh on myself because I'm a perfectionist.
I hadn't noticed. She's fun to work with at times, let's put it that way.
And that was really tough because, did really well at A-level, got to university, and I was kind of not doing as well as I thought I might do. And that was really tough. But actually, learning from those mistakes, learning how to develop effective study practices, I guess, was the biggest learning curve. So by the time I got into my second year, and definitely my final year, I decided that actually, if I work hard, if I see it as a job, 9 to 5, I do the work, I have a lunch break, I finish at 5 o'clock, I enjoy my evenings, I enjoy my weekends, then that would, hopefully I would be rewarded, and I was. So I think, it's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn from it, and put the effort in, I guess, is nothing that is worth having is easy.
Yes, it's true.
So, it was tough. The second and final year, was really tough with my degree. But I put the effort in, I put the work in, and I was rewarded in the end with a first class degree. But that was because I put that work in. I didn't kind of expect to just, get those grades. I had to work hard.
Okay, very good. So, a bit of a curveball question going on from that about working hard and students. So, I mean, what do you think the greatest challenge facing our students at the moment is? I mean, I would probably say it's usage of AI and things like that. And I know you've been working on that with the wider university. So, what do you think is their greatest challenge at the moment?
Yeah, I think AI is a challenge, because if you're using it as a tool to support learning, then I think that's fine. But if you are using it as something that is thinking for you, then that's different, because you're missing a step, I guess, in terms of how you think about your subject, in terms of how you think about the world, in terms of your critical, your ability to be critical. So I think as long as you are aware that there are, the reason that kind of your subject or your module or whatever is asking you to read a lot is because you need to understand, you need that knowledge.
Yeah.
And also there's, I would say there's nothing better than, tackling a particular assignment and putting in that effort, producing something that you're proud of, and then getting getting the grade that you want. So I think that is going to obviously change education as we know it going forward. But I also think one of the differences, the main differences, thinking about when I was a student compared to now, is just how competitive the world is.
Yes.
it's not easy to get a job. It's not easy to find the opportunities that maybe were quite easy for me when I was a student. And so I think that's quite tough, because sometimes students can't just be students. You can't just kind of go to your lectures, go home, do some study. A lot of our students are working part-time jobs, are part of society. They're trying to build their skill set, make sure that they're employable. So I think that's really tough for students, and understanding that that it's not the same compared to when we were students. Students have a lot more worries, a lot more things to deal with potentially than we did. Plus obviously going through COVID and that kind of thing, it has been tough. A lot of students that we see struggle with social interactions and feeling confident in a social situation, or using their voice. It's not easy.
No, I agree completely, especially about the COVID thing. So if you are watching this and you are a student, obviously reach out to Rebecca and her team if you need help with anything, and also you have welfare services as well. So please don't struggle on. We've all been through this, and we're all here to help you. So just bear that in mind. So a little less serious now. A couple of questions to finish with. One that you don't know about. So first of all, the university has a feature where they ask members of staff who they'd like to have a cup of coffee with, dead or alive. So I'm going to ask you that. So there you go. Putting you on the spot.
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton. Awesome. Queen of Country, for those of you that don't know, look her up. She's an absolute icon, is Dolly. So she's about 175.
No, she is not.
No, she's not. Okay, cool. Why Dolly Parton?
I just love her music, I always have. My favourite song is Jolene.
Excellent song.
And also I love her as a person. She's just, it's not just music, but she's so kind. She does so much stuff, doesn't she, for charity, for all sorts of different things. And she also looks great for her age. So maybe I'd pick up some tips in terms of how to age well.
Okay.
That's who I'd have a brew with.
Pretty cool. I was not expecting that, but interested. And the final question, before I let you go back to your busy day, tell us an unusual fact about yourself. If you care to share, you don't have to.
Well, I don't mind people knowing this, but my date of birth is 8th of the 8th, 1988. So I'm all the 8s, and on top of that, that is also the same exact birth date as Princess Beatrice in the royal family. So, I'm just, who knows? I could have been a princess.
I'm not going to comment on that. I'm sure that, in many ways you are a princess. And I think on that note, I'll before I get myself into trouble, I'll thank you for your time today. It's been great to chat with you, Rebecca. And for those of you watching out there, thanks for joining us. Check out our other episodes on Talking Around the Library Tree, and take care, guys. Bye bye.
Thanks, bye.